Hello, everyone. This is Bridget Danner, and I'm here with an old friend of mine, Trina Felber. Welcome, Trina.
Bridget, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with you today.
I'm excited as well. So, you know, well, I didn't check with you before we got on. So here we go with this question. You recently sold a company that you grew. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, I recently sold Primal Life. I'm no longer with the company. I was supposed to stay with the company for a while, but things just didn't turn out that way. And I'm no longer with the company. It's a sad exit.
Well, yeah, I've heard those can be bumpy, trying to stay with new ownership. But
Yeah.
the amazing thing is you grew this amazing brand. I
Mhm.
was going to share with you, I went to my dental hygienist the other day and I had been using the gum oil because they had told me earlier that my gums were being too inflamed. So I've been using gum oil. I go back to my checkup. She said, I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing a good job now. I was like, it's the gum oil.
Ah, thank you. You just made my day because
Okay.
it doesn't matter whether I'm with the company or not. That was my baby. I created and formulated all of those products, manufactured everything, and it's still my first love. Making sure that
Yeah.
everybody, my whole goal in life is to make sure that I'm setting you up for success. So that's setting you up for success because if anyone doesn't know, your gums are directly related to internal health. That's the gatekeeper between you and your heart, you and your brain, and you
Mm.
and all the internal organs. So if your gums are healthy, then the rest of your body stands a chance. If your gums aren't healthy, then it's letting in toxins and inflammation inside your body.
Yeah, it's
So
like a barrier, a very
totally.
delicate barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that oil. And now we sell it in our shop actually because we have a new kind of shop system. So I am
Yeah.
excited that we're now able to sell it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I really love that. So I've interviewed a long time ago about dental
Mhm.
stuff. Today we're going to talk about skincare and beauty. I'm super excited. I think you just turned 55. Is that right?
I just turned 56.
56. I just
Yeah.
turned 50. We're
Ooh, good for
both,
you.
yeah,
The
we're
50
both
club.
we're both fine as hell, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, turning 50 is like a big number, I had to wrap my head around. But in this sense, it's also like, oh, it's one day has passed.
Well, you're looking fabulous. Yeah, I mean, you just look fabulous. You look
So,
great. You look
yeah,
great.
yeah. So we're gonna get into all of this. So we were talking before we came on that I've been started voicing for the first time ever my interest in natural beauty and things I do like antioxidants and skincare and stuff like that. And it's new for my audience. So I felt like I wasn't maybe quite landing on the right words to express it. So before you and I got on, I was saying that I feel like there can be some shame in wanting to be beautiful, some shame in doing it artificially,
Mhm.
some shame or fear it won't work doing it naturally. So there's a lot to unpack around beauty nowadays. Just wondered your thoughts on this as an expert in this industry.
I've been doing beauty for 16 years and it fell in my lap by accident. I was 40 years old, turning 40. I was 39. I had just graduated from anesthesia school. And
Oh,
yeah, I'm a nurse anesthetist and I don't practice anymore, but that's my background. And I graduated, and my husband and we were getting married. We went to Fiji, got married. And on the honeymoon, I got pregnant in Fiji. We were super excited, got back to the US. I started working, in the OR. And at week 7, I miscarried. And
mm,
it was that miscarriage that opened my eyes. And at this point, I'm 39. I have a face full of acne. I'd taken Accutane twice against, like, even I was in my 20s and 30s. So this was years ago. I took it first in my 20s, then in my 30s. And even though I knew how bad it was for me, I didn't care. That's how we get
mm,
desperate. I took Accutane twice. I did prescription, you name it. I did it. I did over the counter. Nothing worked to clear up my acne. Here I am, 39, oily skin and acne. I miscarried I was at week 7 with my daughter. I luckily got pregnant again very quickly. And at week 7 was when I had miscarried. And so I'm super in tune with my body, super in tune with everything. We had decided to change our laundry detergent, change our cleaning supplies, get air purifiers. But it never dawned on me ever to look at my skincare. So I glanced down one morning, I'm getting ready for work, and I look at my moisturizer, I look at the ingredients, and I was floored. I knew that those were chemicals and toxins, neurotoxins, cancer-causing ingredients, all these things, hormone disruptors. And I thought, what the heck? I know that these things pass through the placenta to the baby. I don't know how I knew that, but I knew that. And if my baby was at risk, then I had to get rid of it. So for the first time, I didn't care. It wasn't about me. So I threw it away and I went to the kitchen and I grabbed a bottle of olive oil. And I thought the ladies in Italy are gorgeous. So let's just do this until we figure something out. And so I did, and I couldn't believe the change in my skin. Here I am pregnant. This is when my hormones are crazy. I should have oily skin. I should have breakouts. And my skin was doing the opposite. It started clearing up. So I started actually making my own products. So within the 9 months of pregnancy, I pretty much started making everything, including baby products. And then when my daughter was born, I was breastfeeding her. And I'll never forget, I always say, like, this was my big oops. My husband started his first business when he was 13. So he's been a serial entrepreneur. And I said to him as I'm holding Mia and breastfeeding her, and I said, people are loving what I'm making, because I was giving it away at this point. Maybe I should just sell it. And I'm thinking a little shop on Etsy. And he does a 180 and he says, you figure out what you want to be called. I'll get someone to do your website and your logo and we'll get this started. And I was like, whoa. So there you had it. That's how I started my company. And so, yes, I've been doing this for years. So there's no shame. I never shame any woman for what you've done in the past. I mean, the past is the past. You can't change it, but you can change the future. So, me and my Accutane times 2, and, who knows where I would have been at this point if I hadn't discovered this, but we feel like the clock is ticking and we don't have time. And so sometimes, and this is where the beauty industry knows, and they plays to our fears, is that the clock is ticking, you don't have time. And if you're going to do something, you got to do it now. You don't have time to wait for natural products to work. You need to do it now to feel and look better. So we get pulled into the myth that we have to do Botox, surgery, fillers, or even other types of things that aren't so good for us. We know that down deep. Like every woman that gets that has that feeling like, I know this isn't really good for me, but so let's take that and let's expound upon why the but is there, but we still do it. And there's no wrong in doing it in the past. But once you know what has happened or what might be happening as a result, you have the power then to change it and to do something different.
Yeah, there's so many great things you said in that. The thing of like, yeah, we feel this press that like the natural way is too slow. That one is very true. And I also do fertility work, and I feel like the same thing kind of happens. It's like, yes, you can do the natural way, but this is so much faster.
But what's really funny is when I work with women and I get them on my program, and this happens in dental as well, because we talked about dental, but beauty too. When you stop using what's not good for you, it literally takes about, I usually say 2 to 4 weeks, people will notice and people will start commenting on your skin. Yeah. I just got a message from a woman yesterday. I've been doing your program for a week and a half and people are telling me my skin looks amazing. She's like, I don't know what it is, but you were right. So it doesn't, we have the thought that it takes forever. I'm not going to have time for natural. Natural works very quickly, because you're getting rid of the toxic stuff, the chemicals. Chemicals don't work. You have to think about chemicals like chemotherapy. Look at someone who's taking chemotherapy for a while, and what does that do to their body? The skincare on the market is basically chemo, just at a lower concentration. So it's just going to take longer to get there, but it's like chemo at a lower concentration, but you use it every single day. And not just once, you put that on your body multiple times a day and multiple products. So women use somewhere between 12 and 15 products because we use makeup, or a lot of women use makeup. And makeup's very toxic. So if there's about 10 to 15 chemicals in each product that you're using, you multiply that by 12 to 15. Now you're taking a toxic bath every single day and you're expecting good results. And it's never going to happen. I'm here to tell you, it's never going to happen if you're using those types of products. You're going to be on the hamster wheel, which is where the beauty industry wants you. They want you on the hamster wheel, just like going to your doctor. Okay, you now need this medication. Okay, now you're going to get this symptom. So now we need this medication. And now this is going to happen. It's the hamster wheel of, okay, yeah, your skin is starting to dry out now. So now you need this, and now you need this, and now you need this. And oh, now here's fillers and Botox because you're starting to look a little bit, saggy and droopy and that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's starting sooner and sooner, right? Like girls in their 20s are getting.
So what's really funny is, well, yeah, they're promoting it as preventative, which is a joke. It's not. It's actually Botox and fillers. When you look at what it does inside, causes premature age. It causes aging.
Yeah, we can talk more about that for sure. But yeah, I think one thing like Botox and fillers can give you this instant effect, right? But it wears off. There's a lot of other things we can talk about, but one is that it wears off. So you have to keep getting it. I saw this funny thing. I don't know if you ever saw it on The Simpsons. The town was like stuck in a bubble and no one could get in or out. So all the TV like announcers, they have their Botox fillers, so their face is just totally melted down. I just thought it was really funny. And this is zero judgment. Like I know so many of us have tried these things, have used these things. I'm just making light of it because why not? Why not lighten it up? And we're just here to educate that, like, yeah, I think real beauty is you do see, and that's great that your client saw it so quickly. I think as people who live a healthy lifestyle, which is you and I and everyone watching this, like the health starts to really show as you age, right? Because because when we're young, we have that youthfulness, but when we're older, hydrating, eating real food, it starts to show that you're different because you have this healthy glow. So yeah, I guess myth number one we'll say is that like only these things can make you beautiful, and having a healthy beauty doesn't look good. Like that's not true.
It's so not true. So when you understand, let me go down the Botox road really quick, just so you have an idea of listeners have an idea of what Botox really does. Botox is a paralytic. So and we know this, it freezes your face. So you can usually tell when someone has had Botox because they're less expressionful. And part of the problem with that isn't just what it's doing to your body, but it's also sabotaging your communication skills, because part of communication is talking with your face, talking with your eyes, talking with your facial expressions. So first off, communication becomes blocked slightly. Secondly, it's a paralytic, and in order to maintain muscle mass and collagen creation or production in your body and elastin in your skin, and those are the building blocks of what keeps your skin feeling and looking firm, and the muscle keeps your face up and lifted. Paralyzing the muscle decreases all of that. So when you do Botox, you're actually causing your skin and your face to prematurely age. And you're going to need to continue to get Botox more and more. And then eventually, because you've lost so much collagen, you've lost elastin, and you have no muscle mass, you're going to start to see saggy skin no matter what. So the next thing is usually fillers. Let's get some fillers in there. That's going to make you look better. And then after you're doing the Botox and fillers aren't good either, but the sagginess of the skin isn't going to go away because they're not getting to the root cause of aging. So I address the root causes of aging skin. And so what you have to do next is the facelift. The only answer, according to them, is to do a mini facelift or a full facelift. And then typically, because a facelift, again, doesn't address the root causes of aging, it's only going to, it's the Band-Aid approach, then you're still going to need the Botox and fillers because, again, there's no muscle, there's no collagen, there's very little elastin, and those are the building blocks of keeping your skin looking so young.
Okay. Yeah, that's really important to understand. I feel like there's a lot to be learned about the skin and the face. I recently took a gua sha course from that my coworker created, and I learned so much about how things change as we age and how the muscles change and the bones even change. And it was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like these are just facts. Now, how do we work with it, right? And you can work with it through this other track you just described, but it's never going to end, and it's going to be expensive, and it may affect your health or in your communication, apparently. Or you can say, okay, this is how aging tends to work. How can we work with it? So yes, we're all going to age, but how can I feel like, I think for me, it's like I want to feel like I look like my spirit, right? Like I want my spirit to look expressive still as I age, right? So I kind of want that glow on the outside that is in my inside. If that makes sense.
That totally makes sense. I totally agree. And so I teach there's 5 root causes of aging skin. And if you understand what causes the skin to age, you understand how to reverse it.
Okay.
And that's what I teach in my course and in my programs, is how to reverse those signs of those root causes of age. And it's easy. It's easier than you think. I don't spend a lot of time in the bathroom. I'm 56. I have 3 teenage kids that were busy all the time. I have businesses that I'm attending to. I work more than full time. I spend about 5 to 10 minutes, in the morning, and 5 minutes at night. And it's easy, but it's consistency is key on the things that I teach you to do, and the products that you're using and the techniques. It's super easy, and it doesn't take time. And it actually it's way less expensive than going down the other rabbit hole. And it's all natural. And you can see, I don't know if, anybody's not listening or just listening, but my skin feels better today. It looks better today than when I was actually in my 30s. I have more firmness to my skin. My muscle mass is good. And that's the key to keeping your skin looking younger. The products on the market are dehydrating our skin. They're polluting our skin with toxins that congest the skin. They're not stimulating collagen and elastin. And down that rabbit hole, you end up on the hamster wheel of, now what do I need? Now what product's going to solve this problem? Now what treatment do I need? Now what injection? Now what this? And if you just get off the hamster wheel and realize that, it really is in your hands. It really is in your control. And so what I teach is, how do you take that control back? And how do you get those results really quick? Because I am 100% not about saying, okay, you might not see results for a year, so, just keep at it. No way. I want you to see results, and results fast. When that woman messaged me, she's like, oh my gosh, 1 week and a half, and people are noticing. And I hear that. That's not uncommon. I get goosebumps every time someone tells me, because I'm like, yes, I know it works. It works. But it's amazing how we have been brainwashed into believing that the celebrity that's endorsing a product knows better than me. I'm not talking me, but me as in you, about what your body needs. Physicians that are promoting products, I can tell you, the physicians, doctors, anybody, estheticians don't know what I'm teaching. They don't understand that the products that they're selling and promoting are causing premature aging. what I'm teaching is the insider information, what the beauty industry wants to put tape on my mouth and say, don't tell them this. They don't want you to know this information because I can fix it. I can help you reverse this. And it's not even just going to reverse signs of aging on your face, but the things that I have you do will detox your system of hormone disruptors that cause brain fog and fatigue and night sweats if you're heading into menopause, headaches, infertility, memory loss, all sorts of symptoms that you might be going to a doctor for to address. When what if all you have to do is change the skincare that you're using, because they're so loaded with hormone disruptors and neurotoxins and ingredients that make you sick, like cancer causing ingredients. If you detox your body, and of course, we all know, you know better than me, detox doesn't happen overnight. It's probably a 1-year process when you're talking about the skin and the body, because these chemicals get absorbed into your fat tissue, your organ tissue, and also, everything. So you have to, it's a detox of about a year, but the impact of the initial detox of just stopping what you're doing and using something different. So it's just like when you switched and started using the gum oil, the gum serum. You stopped using whatever you were using that was causing the problem, and you started using the right thing, and you can see results very quickly. And over time, it'll get better. But the same thing with your skincare. You detox, and a week and a half to 2 weeks, your body is made to regenerate. You regenerate your skin and your tissue about every 40 days, depending on your age. Might be a little longer, a little shorter, but your skin regenerates every 40 days. So the skin you have today is not the skin you will have tomorrow. So you have a choice. Do you want that skin to be better tomorrow, or you're going to stick with what you're doing and not getting results, and you're going to still see the decline and the decline? Because you can make it better, and I can help. I've been doing this for years. It's my passion. I love it. I love it when women come to me and they're like, oh my God, my skin looks better than it did 10 years ago.
Yeah, because it's healthy skin. It's healthy skin. That's the difference. I think it's so important we're talking about this. I'm so glad I had you on. Because like I said, when I started to talk about it, I felt like it kind of fell flat. And I'm starting to realize as I listen to you, there's like a gap. You probably already know about this. Yeah. I'm just realizing.
I live the gap.
Yeah, you've been in the gap. You've been hanging out there.
I'm
talking loudly. Please listen.
I can't scream loud enough for women to understand.
Yeah, well, you and I met kind of through the functional medicine world, so I know that gap, right? But I never talked that much about beauty, and now I'm kind of realizing there aren't that many voices to talk about this, and there is that shame, and like I shouldn't express that I want to look good or what have you. So I think I'm realizing there's still a little awkwardness around, what is skin health? How do we do it? I don't want to say anything because I use Botox, so I'm not going to comment on this post. So I think there's, I'm really glad that we're talking about
and
this.
like I said, there's no shame in having used Botox or fillers. There is no shame. And I try not, I want women to understand that. But the point is, you don't have to continue down that you have other options and other alternatives that actually will make you look and feel better, because those options are toxic to the body, not just the skin, and not just going to prematurely age you in the ways that I mentioned, but they're actually toxic to the body and going to degrade. They cause internal inflammation. And if you know anything about any, body diseases, it all starts with inflammation. And, anytime you inject your body with something that's foreign, especially something like a filler or botulism, which isn't supposed to be in the body reacts to it. And there's that chronic low grade inflammation. So it's going to affect the way you feel, the way you think, your energy level, weight gain. That's another one. Women feel like they can't lose weight and they have no idea why, but let's pump ourselves with hormone disruptors that cause our thyroid to not be able to function the way it's supposed to. And your thyroid is responsible for your metabolism. So if you think you're going to lose weight while you're pumping yourself with hormone disruptors that affect your thyroid, think again, it's going to be 10 times harder. But if you go off of that, I always say we're chemically, we talk about like drug addiction and alcoholism. But what we don't talk about is how we're chemically addicted to our skincare products. And by that, I mean, all of the chemicals that they put in actually make your skin and your mind psychologically addicted to what you're using.
Really?
Yes, 100%. I've been actually talking about that for years and how we are chemically influenced. We are under the influence of chemicals, and you can't think straight. You feel like there's no other choice because you are chemically altered to think that way. So if you get off the chemicals, you will clear your mind and your body will heal and you'll see the results. So part of it is the healing on the outside, but so much of beauty is the healing on the inside. And that's the thought process behind it. But if you are chemically under the influence, it's like you can't think straight when you're on alcohol. You can't think straight when you're on drugs. Well, this is just a different kind of drug. They're just pumping it in us every single day.
Wow. I never thought, I mean, I know about that from like food, right? Like processed food is very addictive with the tastes and the flavors. That's so interesting. Well, I'm going to give a little like disclosure because I don't want people to feel ashamed. So here's my experience with that world. So when I moved to Arizona, sometime after, I wanted to try a PRP facial because I kind of heard about that. And so I went to a med spa and they're like, those aren't really great. You got to do it a lot of times. It doesn't really work. So they suggested I do like a laser facial thing. And I did that. But now I was in the world of it, right? I was going to the med spa. So I was getting introduced to the things, right? And I'm like, well, I have this complaint and this complaint. And they're like, well, this would be good for both. This is good for Botox. This is good for filler. So I tried both of those things. And it wasn't like I made this dramatic like declaration, like I'm never going to do that again. But I think, there was part of me that was like, what do I just have to keep doing this like forever? Something didn't feel right. Didn't sit right. I think afterwards I was exposed to the idea of using red light, which you probably know about.
Yeah.
And I just didn't, know that much. Like I had been getting facials. I've been using some good like Eminence skincare and some good products. I think you can judge. I had some knowledge, but I didn't have, I didn't know the more natural options for my aging skin. So I just sort of tripped into it in a sense and was like, no, here I am. And this has all been kind of a fun experience. So let me just try it. But I think it was the idea, and it's not cheap, that we just have to keep doing it and doing it. And it's just, it was just kind of a vague, like, this doesn't sit right. And I think I'm lucky, it probably did affect my health. But I'm lucky it didn't affect it in a more dramatic way in the moment. But I just thought I should share because I think a lot of people don't share what they're doing.
And I appreciate that. I honor you for talking about it because women don't talk about it. It's always like hush, hush and quiet. And some of the things that they don't tell you about Botox is, your muscles as a group work as a group. So when you get a muscle injury, and we don't think about this, we don't know this because the body hides it. The body tries to fix things. And when you get a symptom of something, it's usually your body internally has been dealing with something for a while. But when you get a symptom, it's the body going, hello, like we've been trying to fix this and you're not helping. So now you've got pain or now you've got this. But so your muscles all work together as a group, as a family. So when you paralyze a muscle, in your face, it's going to affect muscles elsewhere, no matter what, to some degree. And what is the one muscle that is imminent for life?
The heart.
Thank you. Thank you. So they don't talk about, for anybody that didn't hear, the heart muscle. Okay. So they don't really tell you that you can have cardiac arrhythmias or heart problems when you get Botox.
Wow.
And they don't like and it's hard to go back because, women that have had Botox 2 months later are in their doctor's office with something going on. And they, when did the doctor ever go, so tell me, do you get Botox or have you had fillers or, anything like that? No, they don't ask you, but they're treating you for a heart something that never got connected. So then you go prancing back every 3 to 4 months to get your Botox. And now you are being treated for something for your heart when maybe all you had to do is not get more Botox. But they don't talk about that. And it's not just your heart, it's, every muscle in your body. And on top of that, the inflammation that is created, that doesn't go away because the minute that your Botox is worn off, it's not really just worn off, it's broken down and it's the body tries to get rid of some of it. But Botox and toxins and things like this, fillers, Botox, they are attracted to fat tissue. And unfortunately, there's a big blob of fat in your head.
Yes.
Your brain. And it's the closest.
Very fatty.
Yes, yeah. the closest fatty tissue. And so things don't travel far to look for fat. They're not gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna go to the brain. I'm gonna go all the way down by, like the uterus. I'm gonna go way down there and get stored. No, they look for it's just the closest place. So it's gonna migrate. And if you've got any kind of blood-brain barrier, problems, leaky brain syndrome, what happens because of the toxins in personal care products, the toxins in our food, then you end up with the potential of early onset Alzheimer's because of a paralytic bacteria that can enter, or just the inflammation from, it doesn't even have to be the Botox itself. It could be the inflammation that gets into the blood and gets through into your brain. So that's the long-term impact. And I'm not here to scare anyone. So, someone that's been maybe gotten Botox a few times. The main thing is stop. And, you now can stop at least. And even if you continue, that choice is yours. I have no judgment, but at least now you can stop and make an informed decision and decide, okay, do I want to continue? Or, you know what, maybe there is a better way and Trina knows, and she's got all the inside scoop and I can learn from her. I'm not here to scare anyone. I'm not here to shame anyone. My message is to inform you and then give you solutions that I know work, not just on beauty, because of course that's what, that's my whole thing is it's beauty, but ultimately I'm a nurse and internal health is the most important thing ever. And, if you're slathering yourself with chemicals every single day, beauty will not happen. I don't care where you think you live or who you think you're going to see or what doctor is going to cure you. Beauty won't happen when you're bombarding your body with chemicals every single day.
Wow. I did not know that about crossing the blood-brain barrier. It makes a lot of sense that I just kind of stop breathing when you like what's nearby, like when you're putting it all in your face. And then
you can have vision problems too. Like you've got muscles and, not just, so yeah, it's a lot and of course they don't read the fine print. They don't give you the fine print and they're not even going to talk about the fine print. And it's just, I look at it as, of course, it's going to be out there. Of course, men and women are going to be getting it. It's really disturbing that they're promoting it to 20-year-olds because they have a long time before they can actually connect the dots and they don't need it. And there is no such thing as preventative Botox. Like when you stop and realize what Botox does, and it actually paralyzes the muscle in a 20-year-old. So let me go back for a second. Let's talk about aging and let's look at the skin. And you had mentioned earlier, I think, when you said, when I was younger, my skin and, the muscle and, look at 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds, look at a 2-year-old, any age before you hit 20, really. And their skin is amazing. Their face looks great. Their cheekbones are high. They've got really dense, skin. But what do you really notice when you watch these kids? I watch kids all the time, and they are expressionful. They are talking when their face. When a girl gets a text from a boy that she likes, you can see it on her face. When a kid gets the candy bar that he wants, you can see it on his face. What happens when we turn 18, 20, 22, and we get our first job? We sit here like Bridgit and I in front of a screen, and you stop using your face. You're like this all day, And when you talk to people, you're like, yes, you barely move your face. No one's like animated. So you have to use your face. The muscle loss that you get probably when you're anytime, whenever that happens. So 18, 22, when you start doing that with your face, which is nothing with your face anymore, is when you start to get the decline of the muscle, of the collagen, and the elastin. So that's why they're targeting those kids and saying that, this is preventative. But when you paralyze it, again, you're going to be blocking all of that from happening. And you're going to end up, those kids are going to not only end up sick because of what it does internally, but just keep a watch on anyone. When they're 30, they're going to look older than their 30-year-old friends that didn't do this. And when they're 50, they're definitely going to need a facelift or something. And that's not even going to fix it again. The problem is they're not using their muscles. And, so long story short, it's not a solution. Botox and fillers aren't a solution. They're actually putting you on the hamster wheel, and they're the cause of aging, because they're not getting to the root causes, which the beauty industry doesn't talk about and they don't address.
Okay, this is so interesting. Well, let's give some positive. Let's shift it. We're going to shift the energy. We're going to express our faces with joy. Which I'm hearing in what you just said, like you have joy, you need to interact.
Yeah, interact and use your face. So the next time you go to Starbucks and you order, be like, I want and just you'll see so when you're expressionful, because I try to do this a lot when I talk to people. I notice when I start using my face and talking with expression, they light up. The other person lights up. Yeah. And so then their face lights up. They don't even know that they're doing it, but they are like, wow. And they respond to you the same way. So that's creating the spark and the joy, which is creating the youth and reducing the cortisol and reducing the inflammation.
Interesting. Yeah, it's true. Because when you're older, but you're like lively and expressive, you have like a younger energy. And people might kind of tease you. You're older and you're being like extra, but it's like, why are we squashing that?
Yeah.
Why are we squashing that?
You don't have to be over animated. You just start thinking about, the next time you go order your Starbucks, or the next time you're doing something or talking to a friend, play around with it and just start doing a little bit more smile. Yeah. Just like that. And you'll see what happens.
I even been playing with that, like in the building where I work, there's a lot of people about, and nowadays we don't really hardly say hello to each other. And I just try to say like, good morning or a little something, because like, why do we have to act like that's so awkward? Like, I know. Can we just, so I think it's sort of my challenge to myself, and people watching might want to play around with it, because it's like, we're really losing that. And I find that kind of sad. So yeah, practice moving your face, saying hello and smiling to people. Okay, tell me, I just saw you showing a crystal vibrating thing. I know tell us like what you're into right now.
So some of the things that I talk about or teach about are some of those methods. And you talked about taking the gua sha course. So gua sha, red light therapy, micro needling, microcurrent, even face tapping is really, really good. Massage, facial massage. So these are all techniques that you can do by yourself at home and do it very quickly at home. And again, consistency is key. You don't have to spend a lot of time doing it. Gua sha is the one that you're talking about. And that is a newer, I don't know how long it's been out, but I found it. And for anyone that doesn't know what gua sha is, it's usually you use a stone, some sort of stone like jade or rose quartz, and the stone has energy, but you use it and it's like a scraping tool on your face, and it helps to stimulate collagen, elastin, and drain the lymphatic fluid from your face, and it's going to help smooth out the wrinkles. Of course, with collagen and elastin stimulation, you'll get the firmer, thicker skin. You can do face yoga as well. I do teach about face yoga and doing the facial exercises. But these are the things that you can incorporate into your daily routine of when you're putting on your face moisturizer or serum or getting ready for bed, and you just spend a couple minutes doing some simple technique. And you don't have to do all of the things. You pick your 1, 2, or 3, and you go ahead and you do them.
I like that tip. I don't know if this is the exact one you have, but it's a bit of a similar picture.
It's a little different. I don't know if this one has red light. Mine has a red light on it.
Okay. What's yours called? I'll pull it up just for fun. Or if you don't remember the brand, it's okay.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of what it is offhand.
I can show a regular gua sha tool as well. I like that you just shared just do a little, because I learned this gua sha routine, which is amazing.
Probably takes 20 minutes.
It takes a while. Yeah. So I'm like tired or trying to get to work, and I'm like, ugh. So then I do it last.
That's part of the problem. There's so many women out there teaching gua sha now because it's so hot, and teaching face yoga. And part of the problem with that is they have these routines that take you 20 or 30 minutes to do. And who's going to do that? Yeah. So I try to teach very simple techniques that you can incorporate, but also when to do it. Like when I'm sitting at a light, I'll do some face yoga exercises.
Okay.
Very easy. Or do some massage exercises. You don't have to do a lot, and you don't have to spend 20 minutes doing it, but its consistency is key. And, you know, a lot of these things, there's no right or wrong. So you don't feel like, oh my God, I'm going to do it wrong. There's really no right or wrong when you're talking about face, you know, and facial. But it doesn't take long. You don't have to spend 20 minutes doing it.
That's true. You could just do one part or one thing, like instead of the whole top to bottom.
Well, I'll do a whole face routine, and it takes me less than 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And it's because I'm not. So here's the thing. This is what I like to tell women. Do you think you're going to get better results going to see an esthetician for a half-hour treatment once a week, or doing a 3-minute treatment at home every single day?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that now that you say it.
You're going to spend a lot of time and money. And it's not just the 30 minutes at the esthetician. It's the drive to and the drive back. So you're really at an hour in, but you only got a 20 or 30-minute treatment.
Yeah.
But if you do 3 to 5 minutes a day, I sometimes say 2 to 3, just like what, if I can get you to do 2 minutes a day, you're going to see a difference, and you're going to see a better result than going to someone once, twice, or 3 times a week, because consistency is key. Your skin, you're going to, you know, how many times did you go get a massage and you felt great for 24 hours, and then, you know, all it took was getting in the car, sitting down, and you're like, oh my God, my back hurts again, or whatever. But consistently, if you do something for a short amount of time, you're going to get better results.
That makes a lot of sense. I actually been saying that lately to my acupuncture, like pain clients, because maybe I don't see them for a week or 2, and then they come back and they're like, well, this is sore again. And I'm like, look, you saw me for an hour 2 weeks ago, so you can't blame it all on this. You've got to be, working on your neck mobility and, getting up during the day and doing all these things that we talked about. So,
and here's how this fits in too. Like if you do want to go to the esthetician, and this is what I tell people too, that have gotten a facelift. So the techniques that I teach will actually help you maintain a facelift. So if you're going to get a facelift, you should be doing this. You spent a lot of money on a facelift. So you need to do these things that will rebuild your muscle and stimulate collagen and elastin. You do that and you may never need a facelift again. You're off the hamster wheel. But because you're not doing that and they don't teach you to do that. So the same thing, like you're saying, you get the acupuncture done, you have to do something in between or it's not going to work. So even if you went to the esthetician, if you don't do anything between treatments, you're not going to see the results. But if you consistently do a small treatment every single day, and it doesn't matter, and I teach, you can mix it up. One day do the gua sha. This is what I do. I'll probably do the gua sha 3 days a week, and I'll do a red light 2 or 3 days a week. And sometimes I'll double up. I'll do one in the morning and I'll do something at night, because I tell myself, I've always done this. This is the brain, the brain pattern interrupt that I've always done with myself. So when I don't feel like getting up in the morning to work out, I would always tell myself, I'd hit the alarm and be like, Trina, you're going to feel just as tired in 20 minutes or a half hour as you do now. So just get up. And if you hate it in 10 minutes, you can get off and stop. And I never stop. I always get up because I'm like, you're right. I'm going to feel just as tired in 20 more minutes or a half hour more of sleep. So the same thing. If I don't feel like doing this treatment in 1 minute, I'll stop. And I never stop, because you're like, oh, okay. So it's half of it is just starting and just doing it. And once you're doing it, you're like, oh my God, I see the results. Like this morning I was doing my gua sha, and I do the gua sha. I do something every day. So people are always like, why don't you post before and after? And I'm like, I really can't, because my skin doesn't really show a before and after, because I've been doing it for so long. But this morning I was doing the gua sha on this side, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually see a little bit of a difference. Wow, that's really cool. So you can see a difference. And when you start to see, so do one side at a time. And when you see the difference, stop and notice, you're like, wow, now I have to do it. And that's what becomes addictive. Now you're off the, cloudy, brainy head of, being under the influence of those chemicals. And now you've got the endorphins going, wow, that looks good. And endorphins do so much more for your health than anything that's suppressing that.
Oh, I like that too. Yeah, it's sort of that confidence of knowing you look good when you go out in the day. And that's not based on how old you are or your size or anything. It's just like loving yourself, taking care of yourself, not being full of toxins that make you feel bad about yourself and don't let you smile. So yeah, I like that. I love that you're teaching every day, because I was sort of getting like a little confused, because I was like, yeah, I love this whole routine. I can see a huge difference when I do it, but I'm like, ugh, I'm definitely not going to do this every day. So that's a really good tip. I like that a lot. Yeah, and I love that you mentioned, the laundry list of things, like a lot of those I do locally, and then you're teaching how to do it at home. So we do red light, microneedling, facial acupuncture, facial gua sha, and it's amazing. It's an amazing like self-care, and kind of like you said earlier, when you detox, like it treats the face and the body. Same with this kind of treatment. When you're treating your face with acupuncture, plus we do body needles, but it's like they go together. You treat your face, you're treating your body. So it's like a really nice, healthy thing to give yourself. I mean, again, you're not going to do it every day. It's not enough. You have to do the maintenance, but it's a great combo, I find. So
yeah, and I love the facial acupuncture. That's something I definitely stand behind, is the facial acupuncture for like a facial rejuvenation. I've not done it yet, but I've actually wanted to play around with it just to experience it, because you can get the facelift look or technique. It's, from doing facial acupuncture, and it's non-invasive, and there's no health, any health risks associated with it.
No, you might get a bruise occasionally. That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. That's okay. But but there's no health risks associated with it. So, but again, like we were talking about, if that's all you're going to do, and you're going to do it every couple of weeks, you're not going to see the results. So that's when we start to get in our heads and go, okay, it's not working. I need Botox. But it's not because it's not working. It's because you're not doing a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes a day to just support what that treatment is meant to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's talk about I know you have a membership. Do you also have a program? Like, tell me more about what you
Yeah,
offer.
so I have, it's called Bold Beauty is my course and my membership. Bold
Okay.
Beauty, it's all about clean beauty, being that bold woman who stood up and said, you know what, I'm done with all that stuff. I want to do this the right way. I want to feel and look good. So Bold Beauty, my course is a self-paced course, 5 modules. I dive deep. The first module is going all in on the secrets the beauty industry doesn't want you to know. I spill it all. Inside there, I give you it's a 7-day skin challenge to get you set. So from day one, you can ditch whatever you are using, and I give you a simple solution that you can use that most women already have. So you're not really putting any money out, and you'll get to see results. It's the thing that the one woman did that in a week and a half, she said people were telling me. So yes, so in the course, that's the first module. Second module is how to create your own glowing skin program. So I give you all the ins and outs of face, washes and moisturizers and serums. And I teach you all of that. I also teach you in the first module how to read skincare labels and you won't even need like the EWG or Yucca or the other apps, because they're not accurate anyway. They're still, they're not as clean as they want you to think. The third module is all about makeup. So I teach you all about makeup and healthy makeup. And the fourth module is dental health. I cannot do this course without talking about dental health. Dental health is so interconnected with internal health. So I give you all of it. You'll walk away with less sensitive teeth, brighter, whiter smile, better dental checkups, healthier gums, all of that. And the last module is all about body care. So we talk about deodorant and sun protection. And I actually give you a sun protection. I do give you some recipes. Anybody that's into the DIY, I do give you some very easy recipes to do. So instantly, if you're, on the face module and you want to do the face serum, pretty easy, very easy, takes less than 5 minutes. You can make your own face serum. And in the sun protection one, I actually have a recipe on how to block. It's a recipe that will block chlorine absorption, helps to block it, because chlorine is so toxic to the thyroid and the body. And then you also get some expert interviews and 3 months free in my Bold Beauty community. So inside the community is where I have conversations with the women in the community in the course. And if they ask me about a product, is this good, this bad? I give a rating of it. Usually it's a thumbs up or thumbs down, because there's really no middle for me. And so they get a lot of good insight. You do Q&A with me. I'll do modules or workshops and things like that in the community. And so if you go to trinafelber.com, and I do have a coupon for the course. Yep, there it is.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to take the course, and it's self-paced, you have access, you'll get all updates. And if you use just use Bridget's first name, Bridgit, you'll get 25% off of the course.
Okay. So just put in that at checkout.
Yeah, just put that in at checkout, and you'll get 25% off.
I love it. I love the topics. Like I think I said, there's this gap where I think people are like, well, I want to look beautiful, but I don't know a brand of makeup that's clean, and I don't want to research it, I've
done all the research. Yeah, I've done all the research. And I'll be honest, there's about 98%. So when people tell me, oh, I use Clean Beauty, I'm good, I'm like, oh, really? What do you use? And so they tell me, and I'm like, okay, it's an F. I rated an F. It's not clean. And so most people think they're using Clean Beauty because the beauty industry uses those terms, and organic and natural are used. And just because your product says it's organic or natural, or it's a company claiming to have clean beauty, doesn't mean they're not still using synthetic or chemicals in their products. And it's those synthetics and those chemicals and the other things that they put in there that are harmful and damaging and not going to create beauty and health in the long run. So 98% of the products on the market are not clean beauty. So I have found the 2%. And when people ask me, is this a good product? If it's a good product, I share it. Yes, that's definitely, I can stand by, because of course I can't know every brand out there, but I'm learning every day and adding, new brands to my list that I say, oh yes, this, and I do it in education, in an educational format where I tell you why this is the way it's supposed to be formulated. So, and inside that first module, you learn how to read a skincare label. And I mean, skincare labels, any other course, I've looked at the courses online that people have put out. And nobody's doing this the way that I'm doing it. They teach you, but you have to memorize a lot of things, and you have to go to these apps. The apps aren't accurate anyway, but they don't tell you that because they don't know that. But I teach you how to read a skincare label. You don't have to memorize anything, nothing. I teach you in 5 seconds, usually it's 1 second, 5 seconds, whether a product is worth your time, your health, your money, and your beauty. And it's so easy. I've uncomplicated this entire complicated system. And the reason it's complicated is to keep you confused and to keep you on the hamster wheel.
Amazing. So we gave a few, I want to wrap up with some takeaways. We talked about 4 things you can do: facial massage, gua sha, red light, little vibrating gua sha thingamajigger, facial acupuncture. Tell me a few ingredients you love in skincare.
So what I really love to do is talk about seasonal skincare and changing your skin, your products with seasons, because just like eating in the seasons, your body craves nutrients. So the fall is coming up, and I love to use pumpkin. Pumpkin oil is very high in omegas and nutrients, as well as peptides. Peptides are the new crave in skincare. But unfortunately, the peptides that they're putting in skincare are synthetic and water-based. And so there comes a bunch of problems that you learn in the course with that kind of thing. But if you're using pumpkin, and there's some other oils that are very high in peptides, you're getting the natural peptide. You're getting something that your body and your skin can
love
create.
this.
So pumpkin's really good. Marula is one of my favorite oils to use, because marula oil has a compound in it that prevents the enzyme from breaking down collagen and elastin. So you make your collagen and elastin, you're using marula, and that means your collagen and elastin is going to stick around longer. So, because it prevents the breakdown. So marula is another favorite of mine. Red raspberry seed oil is one of my favorite, and it's a year-round. Red raspberry seed can be used year-round. It has a natural SPF of between 30 and 60.
Wow.
So not only does it have a natural SPF, but it's loaded with antioxidants. So as you're out in the sun, whether you're running errands or on the beach, and the sun is creating free radical damage, which is oxidative stress, you've got red raspberry seed oil plus a couple other things, because it's not all inclusive, on your skin, preventing the free radical damage from even getting into your body. And it's helping to prevent the damage. You combine that, if you want to make a block, with non-nano zinc oxide, and now you've got something that you can call like a sunblock or a sunscreen.
Wow. I'm glad I asked you that in the 11th hour, because we talked about some really important concepts, but I love that you just demonstrated you have a really in-depth knowledge of where to source it from, going with the seasons. These are things I think most people aren't thinking about. And the peptide thing is true. Yeah. I was I love these peptides, but what is this really? Yeah, go ahead.
And when you join my community and course, when inside the course, this is what I didn't mention, inside the community, I do what's called the Bold Beauty Cooking Show. And you might have seen some clips on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you're looking. It's usually me in my pink apron, and I'm whipping up something. And inside, that is found inside my membership. It's called the Bold Beauty Cooking Show, where I actually teach you how to make your own skincare products, because it's really easy. And you can make a batch that can last up to 2 years. And for most products, like if you're going to make a face serum, you can whip up a face serum in under 10 minutes, and you can make it to last, up to 2 years if you want. And you can gift it. Like, these are great holiday gifts. With the holidays coming up, I'll probably do some recipes that are for holiday gifts and things like that. But in there, when I give you a recipe, all of the ingredients are hyperlinked. So you don't even have to go search for them. You just click on it. And I source from a couple different, you can't get all ingredients from one place because they never have everything. But I use primarily 2 or 3 different sources, and then a couple other ones for random stuff. But I find all the ingredients, and you can choose to find your own if you want, if you don't want to get the one that I offer. But I'm looking for the way that they're processed, because you can buy cheap oils. And if you buy cheap oils, you're getting cheap oils. They're processed. They're just like buying synthetic food or highly processed food. The nutritional value is not there. So I am sourcing the organic and they're processed correctly types of ingredients for you. So you don't have to guess. You just add to cart, click add to cart, click add to cart, and then you get it shipped to you, and you can make your own products really easy. It's not hard. I really want to make this. I really want to make this easy for women. Like, I'm a busy mom, and I make the majority of my products myself. I mean, I only buy other products when I want to test them, so I know whether I could recommend them or not. Honestly, but I don't need to do that. I just make my own, and it's a fraction of the cost.
Oh, it's so expensive.
It's a no tox. And let me tell you this one, because this is a really cool serum that I made. A friend of mine asked me, can you make a Botox face serum? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, why would I want to do that? And then I started looking up ingredients. She sent me a couple things to look up. And one of them is this paracress herb. So paracress it's actually the toothache herb, which is really funny. So it numbs the gum. So I'll probably do like a toothache serum that people can make eventually. But paracress is now being called the Botox herb because it actually relaxes the muscle. And instead of paralyzing the muscle, it relaxes it, which is basically what a paralyzed muscle is. And in doing so, it smooths out your wrinkles. But because it's not paralyzed, you can still use your muscles and build the muscle. So it's not going to have the same effect as Botox, where Botox is going to prevent muscle. It's going to cause muscle wasting. So I made a face serum. I call it the No Tox face serum. And it has paracress in it, and it also has olive leaf. And there's a company out there called Oliveda who is scamming, the world. They're saying that they're waterless, and they're saying that they're saying a lot of things. That's when you look at their branding and their marketing and the way that they're promoting it, it's not true. But basically what they're using is olive leaf, and it's the olive leaf has a lot of antioxidants in it. It's a very potent antioxidant. So what I did with this face serum is an infusion with the paracress and the olive leaf into some oils, and you end up with basically a better product. This is premium. When I say, like, this serum that I made, you can make for about $35 to $40 for like a 1 ounce that would probably last you about 3 or 4 months. So about $40. I would sell this if I still was, owned my skincare company. I would honestly sell this product for around $200. That's the value of what that is, because the time, the energy, and the ingredients that are in there. This would be, the retail price would be around $200, and you can make it for under $40 at home.
I believe it. I love it. Yeah. And I think people might be watching and interested in, like, I don't want to learn all this stuff and do the course. Like, you do it one time and then you're done. You just learn it and then you practice it. Right.
Well, and it's great because it's not even knowledge for you. It's knowledge that you can share with other women. And if you're a mom, you can like now control, and you understand and detox your entire family without them even really realizing it. Of course, they'll notice that they're not using the same products, but you have the power now to not just change your life, but to change people's lives around you. And that's where my impact is. I really want to change your life, because in changing your life, I know I'm going to impact those people around you.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a ripple. But if you're not worried about the ripple, just worried about yourself right now. We know that Trina is the mover and shaker. Yes.
Yeah, I love you, Bridgit. You're funny. I can't wait to see you in a couple weeks.
I know. We have to get together. Yeah, I think, because I think it can be a little intimidating. Oh, I gotta learn all this stuff. Once you learn it, you know it. And then you don't have to keep learning it. You're just done. And you have these oils in your fridge, and you can make stuff up, and it's, it's amazing. It's like real food for your faith, which I think, yeah, even like you said, there's sometimes a disconnect we have, that like something's not quite right with what I'm using. I think I feel that way sometimes. I'm like, but where did they get this exactly?
I know, right?
But if they like cold pressed a pumpkin seed, what that came from.
Yeah.
That's where it came from. So,
and if you're not into making your own products, you don't have to worry. You don't have to. That's for the women that really are like, I want to try this. And then, believe it or not, I'm getting a lot of women that are like really into that, which is exciting. But if that's not your game, you stop wasting money on things that don't work. Like, I literally don't spend a lot of money on my skincare, and the women that do my program, the knowledge that you get from this, you stop wasting money on this stuff. I had one woman message me. She goes, gosh, I keep getting emails from all the skincare companies that I used to, your inbox gets flooded. And she's like, I started, after taking your course, I started going to their products and looking at their website and looking at the ingredients. And I'm like, nope, you just saved me. She goes, you literally saved me probably $300 in one day. Because otherwise I would have been like, it's on sale, I'll get it. She goes, but I looked at the ingredients and I'm like, nope, not getting it. Nope. Mm-hmm.
It's such a strong industry because it creates that, it hits that emotional button of like, if the marketing's good and they've got some photos or whatever, you're like, might as well just get it.
Yeah. Oh, she looks amazing. I look like that.
I just got to click here, So yeah, and it's really good to wake up to. I'm so thankful you came on. This was great. I want to talk to you more about your course and get more people to check it out. So I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you when I see you, or I'll give you a call. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy lady with your teenagers, and I've seen them on your videos. They're so cute.
Thank you. Thanks, Bridgit, for having me on. I so appreciate you. And I'm always, always a big fan of you and what you do. And we've been friends for a while. We've known each other for quite a while now.
I know we've kind of happened in and out of touch, but I'm excited for your next chapter. I really am excited about what you're doing. And thank you again.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.